Hello friends, welcome back to our video lecture series on co-starter fluid mechanics 2. In this lecture, we will continue with our previous topic, centrifugal pump, and we will be discussing priming of the pump. Now, before proceeding, we will revise our working of the centrifugal principle, what we have discussed previously. Now, this is the particular arrangement of centrifugal pump. You might have already seen those pumps at different locations. Those are most popular and commonly used type of pump to take liquid from lower level to higher level or from one location to another location, like say at the household to take water from underground tank to the overhead tank, or at the agriculture where water is taken from the open wells to the ground for the irrigation purposes. So those kind of pump are most commonly employed. We also discussed their advantages in the previous lecture. Now in this case, let us consider we need to take water from this water sump or source of water to this overhead tank where we need to deliver that water. In between that, we are going to use the centrifugal pump, which is a hydraulic machine which is going to convert mechanical energy into hydraulic energy. Now that hydraulic energy may be in the form of pressure energy, kinetic energy, or combination of both, pressure plus kinetic energy. Now if we talk about the arrangement, so arrangement of the centrifugal pump would be something like this. So on this side there would be a fixation of electric motor which is going to convert electrical energy into the mechanical energy. That mechanical energy will be transmitted through the shaft, which is also known as prime mover, towards the impeller. This impeller will be coupled to that shaft. So when this shaft rotates, at that time this impeller will also starts to rotate. Now when this impeller is rotating, of course whatever the fluid is in contact with that impeller also rotate. That impeller will be placed in the casing. So inlet of the casing will be connected to the water sump through the suction pipe, and outlet of the casing will be connected to this delivery pipe. Now when this impeller starts rotating, at that time there will be a development of suction head at the center of the impeller, which is known as impeller eye. So at the eye of the impeller there will be a development of suction head, and due to the development of suction head, water will start to take from the sump of water towards the eye of the impeller. Now when water reaches to the eye of the impeller, due to this rotation, the water which is coming inside the impeller, it will also start to rotate, and due to this continuous rotation there will be a development of centrifugal force on that water. So those curved vanes going to exert a centrifugal force on this water, and due to the development of centrifugal force, that is depending on the principle, by looking to the principle of forced vortex flow, this liquid, rotating liquid, will be pushed away from the center. Then it will reach to the outer part of the casing. Now this casing is having gradually increasing area flow. So my water coming out from the impeller radially, and when it reaches to the casing, due to its increasing area flow, whatever my kinetic energy will start to convert into the pressure energy. So as my water moving radially away and away in the outer part of the casing, and when it is reaching to the outlet, at that time its pressure would reach to the maximum value, and our liquid will deliver with that maximum pressure head to the delivery point. Now when this impeller will start to rotate, and when it will start to develop a suction head, whatever the magnitude of that suction head will depend on the density of the liquid which is in contact of that impeller. Now let us consider, for the first instance, now the suction pipe is totally empty and we want to deliver liquid in this overhead tank. So what we will do, we will start this pump. It will start rotating, impeller will also start to rotate, and there will be a development of suction head in this particular eye of the impeller. But if this impeller is empty, this suction pipe is empty, everything is empty, and we are going to take water from the sump, in that case whatever the liquid or fluid which is in contact with the impeller, that is air. Now whatever the suction head which is developed by the impeller, that will be depend on the density of this particular fluid which is in contact of this impeller. So if air is the fluid which is in contact of the impeller, so whatever the suction head which is getting developed, that would be a small, because we know that density for the air is around 1.25 kg per meter cube. That is very small as compared to water. So whatever the suction head which is getting developed in case of empty impeller, that will be too small, and it will not able to take water from the source of water to the overhead tank or to the impeller. So there will be no suction in that case, because that the suction head will be so small that it may not able to take water from this source of water towards the eye of the impeller. So of course in those cases, if this pump is placed as much near as water sump, then it may going to work. In other case, if you want to develop higher suction head here, whatever our suction head, if you want to develop higher suction head, in that case, of course, we need to fill this impeller, or we need to put that liquid inside the impeller, whatever liquid you want to take up. That means that if I want to lift my water from this water source to overhead tank, then first and foremost thing that I need to fill that particular impeller or that suction pipe with that water, and then whatever the suction head which is getting developed here, that would be the greater and which enable it to take water from the source of water to the eye of the impeller. So this process in which we are filling our suction pipe casing, that means that impeller as well, and the portion of delivery pipe getting filled with the liquid or fluid which we want to lift, that process is known as priming. So in case of centrifugal pump, we need to carry out this priming. In the modern days, you might have seen those submersible pumps which are directly put inside the fluid or whatever you want to lift, and directly you are taking that liquid to the desired location or at the overhead tank. So in those cases, there is no need of priming, because in that case your impeller, and there will be no suction pipe in that case, so your impeller already submerged in the liquid, so there will be no need of the priming. But in case of centrifugal pump, so whatever the pump which is not submersible, which is placed at a particular height from the source of the water, you might have seen at the wells wherever we are keeping those centrifugal pump at the surface, and we are taking water from the bottom of the well. So in those cases, we need to carry out this priming operation. Otherwise, there will be no suction of the water from this water source. So that's what we are going to discuss here. Priming. So priming, it is the operation in which the suction pipe, casing of the pump, and the portion of the delivery pipe up to the delivery valve are completely filled with the liquid which is to be pumped. Otherwise, whatever the head which is getting developed there, that will be so small that it may not able to suction your water from source to eye of the impeller. So this would be our first case when my pump is off and we are going to start that pump. So first and foremost in that, we are going to fill this portion with the liquid, that is called as priming. So sometime for the priming purpose, there would be some priming funnel are available here. Through that you can carry out the priming, or even we can use this delivery valve for the priming operation by providing a small priming valve here. And that valve, of course, can be used for the removing air, trapped air inside this particular system, like say in suction pipe and in casing. So whenever you are filling it with the liquid, so whatever the air trap, that will also go out from this particular funnel. Or sometimes air valve will be provided separately for taking out that air. Now, in this case, whenever you are filling with the liquid, whatever liquid you want to pump, of course, whatever the suction is which will be developed, that will be a greater, and the suction will be taken place, and your continuous supply of water can be ensured. However, in many cases, we are using this footwall mechanism at the bottom of the suction pipe. Now, what it will do, so whenever your pump is in working, this is going to work as a one by one. So this would be something like this. So there would be a arrangement something like this. So it will be a non-returning valve. So whenever your water is going in upward direction, this valve will move in the upward direction and your supply will be ensured. Now when your pump is off, at that time, due to the pressure of the water, it will close automatically. So whatever the water available inside the system, that will be kept inside by this non-returning foot valve, and due to that you might be no need to carry out priming operation when you are going to start your pump in the next time. So that foot valve is going to play important role, and in that case you might be no need to carry out the priming operation at each and every time when you are starting your pump. But of course, that should be a there should be no leakage in the foot valve. Otherwise, of course, water will start to go out from that foot valve, and again you need to carry out your priming operation. Otherwise, there will be no suction taken place. There will be no water coming from this water sump to the eye of the impeller, and our pump is only rotating and rotating empty, because whatever the head developed in that case, that will be depend on the density of air, which is very small. So suction head will be very small, that it cannot ensure your supply of the fluid or water, whatever you want to take from the source to the overhead tank. So this is what operation of priming. Hope you understood this particular topic, priming. Those are the references which I used while preparing my presentation. Thank you for watching.